Well, part of the gaming community just got its wish because everything we've been hearing since Insomniac actually came out swinging and really tackled and handled Spider-Man well, is that people want Insomniac to make more superhero games. This is sort of the same thing that we've heard from Rocksteady since Arkham was a huge thing. It's like, oh man, these guys know what they're doing. Make a Superman game. People have been throwing pretty much every idea at the wall when it comes to Insomniac and wanting them to do more Marvel properties. Looks like the wish has been granted. Somebody rubbed the right lamp because we got, that sounded very weirdly innuendo-ish, we got a Wolverine game on the way. Now, there's not actually a lot of information about this game yet, especially in the teaser. If you only watched the teaser revealed at PlayStation Showcase 2021, really all that we got out of that was that it is being made, and it is being made by Insomniac. Now, personally, I'm a little tired of the CGI reveals for pretty much every game because they don't really show anything, but we at least did get a general aesthetic of what to expect from the game with the more country-esque looking Logan, at least from what we see from the back, with his whole flannel look going straight out of the comics, really, in a lot of his more casual looks. You know, he's known for rocking both the wife beater and the flannel, and he's got the flannel on here. And essentially, just someone comes up to him, behind him at a bar, looks like he's going to stab him, and Wolverine clenches his fist and his claws start to come out. That's really it. So this is also reminiscent, by the way, of a scene from the Fox X-Men movies. But, you know, obviously this is not going to be connected to that in any way. Though I wouldn't be surprised if we got a nod or a wink here or there to something. But when it comes to this game, there is some more information we got over on PlayStation's blog. Actually, Ryan Schneider had written about this game over there and said that Marvel's Wolverine is a standalone game being directed by Brian Horton, creative director, and Cameron Christian, the game director, who recently led the creative efforts on Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, a game we're extremely proud of at Insomniac, which, by the way, me inserting my own take in here, great game, so was the original, both worth your time if you haven't played them. In the vein of our Spider-Man games, our goal here is to not only respect the DNA of what makes the character so popular, but also look for opportunities to make it feel fresh and truly reflect the Insomniac spirit. Even though Marvel's Wolverine is very early in development, from what I've seen of its emotional narrative and cutting-edge gameplay, see what I did there, which is funny, that's a dad joke on level with the Degenerate J channel, the team is already creating something truly special. One more interesting piece of information also comes from the PlayStation blog. It's something that a lot of news outlets have passed over, and others have interpreted very directly, and it confuses me. They did say that being able to build a new original universe with Spider-Man and now Wolverine is such an honor for so many of us at Insomniac Games. A huge thanks to our Sony Interactive Entertainment family for giving us the chance to develop these games, Marvel for trusting us with characters that mean so much to so many people, and of course, our fans for continuing to believe in us. Now, what I don't understand about this is if they are saying that this is an original universe for Wolverine because it is a standalone game, or if they are saying that this is an original universe for Spider-Man and now Wolverine is in that same universe. That's my hope, that's how I interpret it, is that this is a shared games Marvel universe with at least Spider-Man and now Wolverine. But with the statement about Wolverine's game being standalone, it does make these comments a little confusing and contradictory sounding. I'm personally really excited about this. I'm going to cover some thoughts, concerns, and excitement. But it's worth noting as well that one of the things I've been showing in this video is footage from the original, guess it's not original, but the one I think of, Wolverine game that flew under a lot of people's radar. X-Men Origins Wolverine, the game. Now this game actually is pretty good. It's an action-adventure rated M game, lots of blood, lots of fighting. It really did have that Wolverine spirit from level to level. It was constrained a bit by tying into the Fox movie that was really bad, X-Men Origins Wolverine, which it was probably one of those Fox movies that had the most problems and was really toned down. But the game wasn't. You know, we were able to see back when that game came out what a Wolverine game could really be. It could be dark, it could be edgy, it could be brooding, it could still be animalistic and with insane violence, but also with a hero that can die but heals over and over again. So that's kind of one of the concerns I have, is how they will be able to do that. But the thing is, Marvel's Spider-Man already is not that difficult, and they are also able to retain that spirit of Spider-Man. So I'm not sure this game necessarily needs to be really, really challenging in order to be a Wolverine game. Just because maybe his health comes back over and over again, it's probably not a huge concern, although it does make you wonder how they'll be able to do that without being too repetitive. So I hope that they're able to handle that well. Really though, what I'm thinking about this is that while I'm excited, I don't know what to think until we see a bit more. You know, I'm really excited to see this game, and I really, really, really want it to be good. Wolverine is one of those characters that I really connected with. Again, I know this is a normie statement, but especially in the movies, I personally found the Hugh Jackman version of Wolverine to be, to me, more interesting than a lot of the comic book writer takes on this character. Part of it might be that his origins are constantly being revamped, or new versions of him are being introduced, or all of a sudden he has some secret son he didn't have before. You know, there's just a lot of weird changes with comic Wolverine, just like comic Spider-Man's gone through over the past decade. But with this character, I'm really excited to see the heart of what is Wolverine come alive. Now, my one concern with this game overall is not really with the quality of the game itself, it's with how Insomniac is handling crossovers and also this whole shared universe thing that I wanted to circle back to. We don't actually know for certain at the moment that I am recording this, and I really do hope that it is clarified, because I'm not saying it isn't, but we have not gotten for sure good confirmation on this being part of a same shared universe with Marvel's Spider-Man. Now, to hit you with something I guess earth-shattering in the comic book community, I don't think that being in a shared universe necessarily has to be done to make something good. And I'd argue most people don't really, they just get very excited about the aspect of crossovers. But the thing with how Insomniac is able to very, very maturely and competently handle storytelling is that if you had a shared universe between this and Spider-Man, it would be really cool to see a character like Wolverine pop up in the future. Him and Spider-Man have had some really cool crossovers, especially in the comics. It's a shame that we don't get to see that much on TV, except in a few animated adaptations, and it would be amazing to see it in a game universe. Now, personally, I do think this is a shared universe. I think that Marvel and Insomniac know just how hungry gamers are for that sort of thing, but it just comes off odd in terms of other decisions being made around this game, with games like Guardians of the Galaxy just being its own thing, or Marvel's Avengers just being its own thing, that we're now getting a Marvel shared universe possibly between these two franchises, and how that will work out in the future. And if this is really just a standalone game, does that shared universe matter if we would never circle back around to Wolverine again in his own games? I'm not really sure. It's something worth thinking about, and it doesn't necessarily make this bad at all. I'm extremely excited, but it does sort of raise some concerns or doubts for me in terms of the plan going on here, and why that wouldn't be clarified earlier on, because I really do think with the success of the MCU and just the comic book multiverse, I guess, and crossovers in general, that this would be a huge selling point to push immediately in your marketing, versus being a little vague about it randomly on the PlayStation blog that most people other than me don't read. Maybe this means that there's more, I guess I would say, chances for different characters in Marvel. I think for a long time outside of team-up games, you know, like Ultimate Alliance 3, bigger things like that, now we're seeing Midnight Suns too, we weren't seeing a lot of Marvel standalone hero games, or like one hero or a handful of heroes. We were seeing big team-based things, or Spider-Man. That was really it. You know, we didn't see games like about Wolverine specifically, or about Nightcrawler, or about, I don't know, Moon Knight, any of those things. But I think that as the more pop culture side of entertainment has taken some chances on characters. We see things like WandaVision, two characters that, even though I know comic fans love Wanda and Vision, a lot of people didn't care that much originally before the MCU. Once we started seeing them sort of take some chances on those smaller characters and make something in the pop culture eye out of them, I think that means that there is more of a chance to see more games like this, and that's one of the biggest aspects that excites me, because as much as I love this, there's already a Wolverine game that I really, really like, so to me, this is just a bonus. You know, this is just another great thing that we are getting out of this, and I hope that it is a sign of more things to come, not just from Insomniac, but from Marvel licensing their characters to video game developers to make interactive experiences where you step into the shoes of any hero or anti-hero or whoever and take on a role a day in their life and be able to immerse yourself the same way that everyone was in Marvel's Spider-Man. That's probably the thing I'm most excited about here, and I'm interested to hear what you think down below. Would you want this to be in a shared universe with Spider-Man, or do you think it doesn't need to be? Maybe you're tired of shared universes. I know some people are. 2, I would also be wondering who else you would want to see get a game from Marvel. You know, if Wolverine's getting one, Spider-Man's getting several, who else would you want to see? Maybe Doctor Strange? Would you want to see Moon Knight? Would you want to see Iron Man, other than the VR game? What do you want to see? Also in the description down below is our secondary channel, Degenerate Plays, where we are playing through a wide variety of different games. We play superhero games, we play horror games, all kinds of different stuff over there. Right now we're in Dead Space, along with Medieval, and we just wrapped up Assassin's Creed 2, so I hope to see you over there and hang out with you and hear your opinions on that channel as well. Have a fantastic day, everyone, and as always, stay shui.